Good morning. It is Sunday today, so I've used this occasion to wear one of my coziest sweaters. Even though it's supposed to be kind of warm today, we had some really nice like fall-ish weather for the longest time, and now it's gonna get hot again. But I'm kind of still in denial about it, so I'm wearing a sweater for as long as my apartment stays cool. The plan is to stay home today and not go anywhere, and there's several reasons for this, one of which is that I have been traveling a lot for work recently. Laundry has stacked up and dishes and everything. Of course, my husband's been amazing and obviously done a lot of that, but he can't do it all, and there's been a lot of stuff that I personally just have to take care of, and I haven't had time for it. So today's gonna be one of those days. I feel like I have sort of let a lot of things get away from me recently, and obviously this hasn't necessarily been a choice. I've really tried to keep up with stuff, I just haven't been able to, and because of that I have felt kind of lost. A little bit like I've been drowning under just so many different things, so many different pressures. At the same time, it's summer going into autumn. This is always kind of a time, I guess any season change, but especially coming out of, summer holidays. I didn't really have holidays, but coming out of summer and back into fall, you kind of feel like recentering, rethinking things. So that on top of the fact that it's just been so busy recently has just caused a lot of stress, I'll be honest. So I have a lot of cleaning and chores and stuff to do, as well as responsibilities, as well as recentering and rethinking, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in this vlog later, because it is something that I want to chat about. But for the moment, I'm going to continue with this normal trend of every time I do one of these vlogs, I end up making coffee at some point in the vlog. I haven't had coffee yet, even though it's 11:30. I had kind of a slow morning. I was up by 8:30, but I just didn't do very much. I ended up watching some New Girl while I did a bit of laundry, and then I listened to The Greatest Showman and sang at the top of my lungs, really hoping I didn't drive all of my neighbors and random people in the street crazy with that, but sorry not sorry. Okay, hoping that is straight. This is always the struggle. Hands down, one of the most frustrating things about these past couple of weeks, and I think part of what's causing a lot of stress, is that I have not been able to write very much. You might remember that a few weeks ago, I was so excited. I finished part 2 out of part 3 of my novel, and everything was just going fantastic. And it's just kind of gotten paused since then. I feel like every time I do one of these vlogs, it's when my writing has gotten paused, but maybe that actually has some sort of logic behind it. Maybe that's why I feel like doing these vlogs, I don't know. But it has been just kind of paused, and I've been completely unable to do it. When you're traveling, you sacrifice your evenings as well as your days. So it's not even just a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 6. So basically, I have not been able to work on my writing while traveling, which means that I've had very little time to do writing. But today, that changes. Today I am getting back into it. I have started part 3. I did that a week ago, I think. I wrote a little bit last weekend. I didn't make a ton of progress because when you have to break it up like that and you have so many gaps between your writing sessions, then progress can be much more difficult to make. But today I'm gonna get back into it, and then this week I shouldn't really be traveling, I don't think, at all. I can get some more writing in because I am making some fantastic progress. Obviously, like I said, not in the past few weeks, but I'm in part 3 of my novel. I know there's gonna be quite a bit of heavy editing later in the novel. I've already thought about that, and even in the next scene I know exactly what I need to edit. I need to change a couple of things because I added in some different scenery that's going to change sort of the course of action that my main character has to take. That's a really vague way of basically saying I added a river. Yeah, it really is that boring. I added a river, so now she has to get back over the river, but basically I have this plan of action in my head of what needs to happen, and how exactly I'm going to do it, I just need to actually get into it. So like I said, it's a little bit after 11:30 now. I still have the entire afternoon to do everything I need to do. So just looking at the day and seeing that I have the entire afternoon and even the evening to get stuff done is actually very exciting, and it also takes a bit of the stress off my shoulders. So much of what causes stress, at least for me, is just seeing a schedule that's packed full when you know you have other things that you need to somehow squeeze in there. So knowing that I have all this time to get back into it makes me very excited. And I'm gonna be even more excited when this thing finishes steeping. It smells so good, you guys. And in case anyone is wondering about little Hamlet, because I always get requests to see him in videos, he is enjoying the sunlight right by the window. Hey buddy, what's going on? Look at that tail, you guys. Tail for miles. vat of coffee, check. Now I'm gonna get some writing done. Okay, so I have written for about an hour now. It's almost 1 o'clock, which means that my video for today is gonna be releasing in just about 10 minutes. So if you haven't already checked that out, I will leave a little link, I think it'll be on that side, to that video and you can check it out because I'm very excited about it. It was a fun one to film. But yeah, about my writing session that just happened, I recorded the word count as usual. It was a little bit over 1,000, but for a revision, that's not a ton, but I did end up writing most of those words because like I said, I had to change a little bit of a scene transition there. So yeah, not too bad on that. Did not drink most of my coffee and it's now cold. You can see, I mean, I gave it, you know, a little dent there, pretty good, but I got a little bit carried away with my writing and I forgot to drink it. So I'm gonna go probably pour the rest of that French press in my cup and heat it up in the microwave. I'm super classy like that, microwaved coffee, but I don't waste. I do think I've earned myself a break though, so I'm going to close the computer, maybe play some music, do a bit of dishes maybe. That actually is something that I enjoy doing when it's in between computer tasks because it's good to get your eyes off the screen and it can be a little bit therapeutic in and of itself just to do a motion like that. But I do have to either listen to an audiobook or music or do something because I get so bored if I'm just doing something manual. What you doing? Okay, dishes accomplished, or at least most of them. I'll get to the rest of them later. So now I just finalized my video going live. I prepare most things in advance, but in this case I forgot to prepare a tweet for it. Often I'll schedule one, but I just didn't do it this time, so I had to write a quick tweet for Twitter and I posted it to my Instagram stories. I usually like to do that like as soon as the video releases just so everyone can kind of see it. I haven't eaten and it is about 1:30 now, so that's kind of unusual, but I guess I did have a slow start this morning. I didn't eat my cereal until like 10 or something, so it's not that weird, but I might go ahead and make some lunch. I might do a little bit of reading. I feel like I have so much time, this amazing like open afternoon. It's just making me so happy. Right now I am reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is one that I've heard so much about. I can't even count how many people have recommended this book to me. So I thought I would give it a shot. And so far I'm not that far through. I'm on page 64 or 65. I can't remember which side of the page I left off on. I was in the middle of a chapter because I was reading on the train and I had to stop. It's really interesting so far. Needless to say, there's a lot of plot left, but I am very intrigued. So I'm very excited to read more of that. So hopefully I'll get through a little bit more this afternoon. What you doing, baby? Ooh, it's actually a bit chilly. So I talked a little bit earlier about, I guess feeling a bit lost recently and like with my projects and things like that and sort of needing to recenter. And I think this is something that is quite frequent, especially with creative types of professions. It just happens a lot. I mean, you get to a point where even if you've been very successful with whatever you're doing recently, you get to a point where you either aren't satisfied with it or you're not sure if you should be satisfied with it or you have new ideas, etc., etc. Motivation comes and goes. That's a normal thing, and I've talked about that in past videos, and it's also something that you can't fully rely on for creative projects. I'm definitely not one that thinks you should only do stuff when you're motivated or only do stuff when you're inspired, but when you're not inspired or motivated about something, or when you are just confused or a bit unsure about where to proceed or how to proceed with something, it makes it much more challenging, and you do sometimes have to improvise and sometimes have to be a bit flexible. with what you expect of yourself. This unfortunately has happened in the past few weeks with both my novel, and I talked about that a bit earlier. A lot of that's just because I didn't have time to do it. Everything's going smoothly. I'm feeling really good about it, but that did happen with my novel because of the time constraints. But it's also happened with my channel a little bit recently. I've been sort of, I don't know, not flip-flopping between what I want to do or amongst the ideas I want to do, but just trying to come up with the best way to move forward, the types of content I want to produce, how often I want to produce it. I'm just trying to figure out how I can balance everything, but also possibly take a bit of a break or let myself have a bit of a pause from the routine, just because I do feel like I need to refresh and recenter. At some point this week, I maybe will just write down a list of everything I want to do, the most important and the least important, and then just sort of prioritize it and categorize it a bit into what matters most and what I should focus most on. Oh, but in other news, I have tickets to see the Orchestra very soon, which I'm super excited about. It has been a very long time. I've only seen the Paris Orchestra once since coming to Paris, and it's been almost 2 years that I've been here now. So that is not nearly enough orchestra in my life. Recently, a week or two ago, I went to my first ballet in Paris because my husband and I got sort of bundle offer they had going in January or February where you could get 2 ballets and 2 operas for a reduced price. So we booked 4 for this season, and I had to wait the rest of last winter and spring and summer for this season to start, and now that it's finally here, I'm so excited. So I got to go to the Palais Garnier for my first ballet. I think the next one on the schedule is an opera in December, and then next winter, spring, there's the other ballet and the other opera, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but there's more coming up this season. And now we have orchestra tickets, and hopefully we can book some more orchestra tickets throughout the season. So I'm very, very excited for that. And it's reminded me how few of my nice, like, concert going dresses I left in the US. I'm gonna cycle through the same 2 or 3 dresses for all the concerts. I could also go shopping, but I don't have a ton of closet space either. I think I'm gonna wrap up this vlog here and maybe do a bit of comment responding on today's video and last week's video, which I have been kind of bad about responding to comments because I've been traveling and stuff for work. So I have a lot of comments to catch up on. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I love doing these on sort of chill Sundays. Please do let me know in the comments if you want to see more in the future, or if there's anything in particular you want me to chat about. I also haven't done any sit-down vlogs that are about random, rambly types of topics, which can be kind of fun, or at least I like filming them and I like watching similar things from other people. So if you want me to talk about recentering yourself, or getting back into creative projects after a break, or I don't know, just any of those things that I've sort of mentioned in this vlog, if those are of interest to you, please do let me know. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, whether it is chill or busy or anywhere in between, and I will talk to you soon in another video.